Lisa, you've represented many genuine victims in the MeToo movement who've won actions and won court cases. You've done some amazing work for women who deserved to have vindication in courtrooms. How damaging, though, is it when someone like Amber Heard, so high profile, is basically concluded by a jury to be a massive liar, and they've awarded $15 million against her?
It's very damaging, and it's very scary to women who want to speak out. Many of them speak out and they don't name their abuser. And in fact, she didn't in the underlying article. But, you know, Piers, this is not the end, because there will certainly be appeals. I've done defamation cases and appeals. I represented Janice Dickinson against Bill Cosby in a defamation case. We won 2 important appeals. That's where these cases are decided. And I think this is an inconsistent verdict, because the jury did award her $2 million on her counterclaim based on the attorney Adam Waldman making statements against her, and that was attributed to Johnny Depp. So how is it then a false statement if she says, I am a representative of domestic violence? I think that is an inconsistent verdict, and that is not allowed. So I think there's a lot of issues on appeal here, and the appellate courts are going to sort it out. Of course, that's going to take years. For now, they know he is definitely the big winner today.
And Lisa, do you think Johnny Depp has a comeback here? Hollywood loves a comeback, as Sharon Osbourne said. You know, he's been, in his eyes, he'll say, I've been completely vindicated. I took this action to clear my name. And unlike Prince Andrew, who, you know, paid a large amount of money not to clear his name, Johnny Depp has taken this big gamble, which it was, with everything hanging on it, really, and he's won. Do you think he's got a chance now to come back to be a big Hollywood star again?
Absolutely, because Hollywood not only loves a comeback, it loves wealthy, powerful A-list celebrities, and it's very hard to go up against them. You know, I do it every day on behalf of everyday people. It's always a David and Goliath struggle, and I think he will definitely have a comeback.
One of the complaints that people had about aspects of the Me Too movement was that the pendulum swung very wildly and may have swung too far, in the sense that this concept, you have to believe all women. You know, one of the things that people will say about this trial, I'm sure, this case, is that, well, why? If someone like Amber Heard is lying to destroy her ex-husband, Johnny Depp, why should the automatic de facto default position always be you must believe women?
Well, of course, we should not believe all women or all men, and everybody should have due process. But I, every day, talk to my clients, and they are suicidal, they are upset, they have corroborative evidence. And even so, it is a huge uphill battle to go against somebody who is very wealthy, who can have social media bots coming after you, private investigators going through your garbage and talking to your family members. I mean, these cases are very hard. In my opinion, the Me Too movement has not gone far enough. We are definitely seeing a backlash now. I think this case is a good example. Every case should be decided on its own merits based on the facts. Of course, nobody should be falsely accused, but there are still many, many women out there who are victims of sexual harassment and sexual assault.
Well, thank you, Lisa. As always, a great analysis. Really appreciate you joining us tonight on what has been a pretty momentous day, certainly in terms of the fortunes of the people involved here. Joined by Tomi Lahren from Fox Nation, and also Janice Dickinson, who I spoke to last week about this case. Welcome to both of you. Tomi Lahren, what do you make of it?
Hey, listen, I think that this is also a big victory in the battle against cancel culture. And in America, we've dealt with that for 2+ years now. Listen, I would have had respect for Amber Heard if she would have penned an op-ed talking about how toxic relationships can be so damaging and talking about getting yourself out of a toxic situation. I would have had respect for her if she had gone that route. She didn't. She wanted to cancel Johnny Depp. The world watched her try to cancel Johnny Depp. And in the end of the day, she lost. And I believe it was a rightful loss. And going back to this whole notion of the Me Too movement, it is maybe started with wonderful intentions, but as you mentioned, Piers, it has gone far too far. We can't just believe all women, because, believe it or not, women can be abusers too, and I believe that's what Amber Heard was.
Well, Tomi, let me
just...
just...
the jury believes Amber Heard was, and now she's going to have to pay for it.
Right, let me just read you. There's a statement here from Amber Heard, which I'm going to read in full and get your reaction to it. The disappointment I feel today, she says, is beyond words. I'm heartbroken that the mountain of evidence still wasn't enough to stand up to the disproportionate power, influence and sway of my ex-husband. I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It's a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously. I believe Johnny's attorney succeeded in getting the jury to overlook the key issue of freedom of speech and ignore evidence that was so conclusive that we won in the UK. I'm sad I lost this case, but I'm sadder still that I seem to have lost the right I thought as an American to speak freely and openly. Now, Tomi Lahren, I would say no one's damaged her free speech. She was allowed to speak freely and openly, but the jury concluded that what she was saying was a lie, and not just a lie, but a deliberate, malicious lie designed to destroy her husband. And that's why they found against her, and that's why they've awarded him so much money.
Yeah, free speech doesn't mean that you could lie about somebody else for your own personal gain or to bolster your own career in Hollywood and what have you. And when she's talking about a setback, she is the setback for women. When you have somebody in her position with such a platform that she has, and the jury finds that you lied about it with actual malice, you are the setback to so many women that don't have the platform that you have, that have actually been abused and don't have a voice. She should be ashamed of herself, and we'll see if she can make a comeback, but I don't think so. You can't go after people. You can't cancel them for no reason. This is a big victory for Johnny Depp and the war against cancel culture.
Let me bring in Janice Dickinson. Janice, we spoke about this last week, and you were, I think, hopeful this would be the verdict. What do you think Johnny Depp's reaction would have been to this?
I think Johnny Depp is absolutely relieved for the fact that, after all these several weeks and months that this trial's been going on, that he's been hammered with all these accusations and all these defamatory remarks coming from his ex-wife, Amber Heard. I think, he's going through he's going to have relief, because I was once in the defamatory case with Bill Cosby, and we found him to be liable, and so I was vindicated, and my vindication feelings were just utter relief.
Well, actually, there's a statement now from Johnny Depp. I think he said something along the lines of the jury gave me my life back. I am truly humbled, and I don't think he's overstating that, because I think had he lost this case, Johnny Depp would have been finished. So the stakes were unbelievably high for him.
Absolutely, Piers. It begins to slide down. Once a celebrity is accused of something, the telephone stopped ringing for future jobs. It happened to me, and it was like really heartbreaking. And I'm sure he got canceled from the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise, and he got canceled from all these other jobs. And this is millions of dollars for this poor guy. I think that he has a big sense of relief now, and the court of public opinion for him is that I was right when I came on your show last week, and I said I'm pro Johnny Depp because I don't believe Amber Heard. I never believed all her accusations from the start. It sounded like a pathetic woman just clamoring for attention to make herself. I mean, what does she gain from doing this in the first place?
I have to say, I also think that when you lose so emphatically, continuing to play the wallowing victim, I think it leaves a pretty unpleasant taste in the mouth. Tomi and Janice, thank you both very much. Really appreciate that.